Imagine a man who once stood as the proud face of a beloved TV family, leading his tribe through the wilds of Alaska. Matt Brown, the eldest son of the Alaskan bush people, wasn't just a reality star. He was the symbol of resilience, strength, and family unity. But behind the cameras, his life was unraveling into addiction, scandal, and heartbreak. What really happened to Matt? How did the golden boy of Alaska become the family's biggest controversy? Stick around, this story is more shocking than you think. In 2016, Matt Brown's struggles with alcohol misuse came to light. Recognizing the grip addiction had on his life, Matt voluntarily entered the Betty Ford Center for treatment. His family and fans hoped this was the turning point. However, the battle was far from over. After a year marked by highs and devastating lows, Matt found himself back in rehab. The vicious cycle of addiction had not released its hold on him, and the cracks began to show both within his family and in the public eye. While the rest of the Brown family moved to Washington State to continue filming, Matt remained in California, physically distanced and emotionally detached. What was intended as a brief break for recovery turned into a prolonged absence that disrupted the family's image of unity. Despite completing rehab, Matt couldn't escape his demons. He kept returning to alcohol, each relapse further damaging his relationships and standing within the family. In 2020, Matt Brown's life took a darker turn. Two women accused him of sexual assault, incidents that allegedly occurred after days of heavy drinking. The allegations were serious and sent shockwaves through fans who once admired Matt as the reliable, good-natured eldest son. Although no formal charges were filed, the damage to his reputation was irreversible. Social media exploded with outrage. Comment sections filled with condemnation, and public perception of Matt Brown shifted permanently. The Discovery Channel, faced with mounting pressure, had no choice but to sever ties with Matt. It was a business decision that sent a clear message: controversy would not be tolerated. His exit was a silent dismissal, unaccompanied by public statements or defenses from the Brown family. Their silence was deafening. Yet, the Brown family had always been more complex than their television portrayal suggested. Billy Brown, the family patriarch, was a larger-than-life figure who believed in living free from the constraints of modern society. He led with a strict set of values, but his relationships with his children were layered and complicated. His wife, Amy Brown, was the emotional anchor of the family. A lung cancer survivor, Amy displayed strength and resilience that held the family together even after Billy's death in 2021. Each of Matt's siblings had their own stories. Joshua "Bam Bam" Brown stayed mostly out of the spotlight, preferring privacy over public attention. Solomon "Bear" Brown, however, was known for his erratic and energetic personality. His relationship with Raven Adams was a roller coaster of engagements, restraining orders, paternity disputes, and surprise weddings. Despite their rocky past, Bear and Raven share children together, and their relationship remains a complicated tale of on-again, off-again chaos. Gabe Brown found a semblance of stability, marrying Raquel Rose and starting a family, while Noah Brown, the tech-savvy member of the family, saw his marriage to Rain Alicia end quietly in 2025. The Brown daughters, Snowbird and Rain, avoided the romantic dramas that plagued their brothers. Bird embraced her independence, while Rain focused on personal interests away from public scrutiny. Behind the scenes, Alaskan bush people was a logistical nightmare. Filming in the remote wilderness of Alaska was expensive and difficult. Helicopters, satellite communications, and specialized equipment were required to create the illusion of an isolated family. But the illusion came at a cost, both financially and in credibility. Rumors began to circulate that the Browns stayed in hotels during filming breaks and lived far more comfortably than the show suggested. Then came Matt's explosive rant on Instagram, where he accused his late father Billy Brown of financial exploitation, claiming he took all the earnings from the show. He further alleged that the family's life in the wild was an orchestrated lie. These allegations tore apart any remaining belief in the show's authenticity. Legal troubles followed. The Brown family like a shadow. They had been previously accused of residency fraud, claiming benefits while living elsewhere. But Matt's personal scandals were the final straw. His misconduct allegations left the Discovery Channel with no choice but to cut him loose. The family maintained their silence, a strategy that protected them, but also widened the rift between them and Matt. The aftermath of Matt's departure was profound. Though ratings held steady for a while, the show's tone shifted. Without Billy's leadership and Matt's presence, Alaskan bush people felt hollow. The family dynamic that once captivated audiences now seemed fractured and forced. Then came a $500,000 legal dispute involving Billy Brown's estate and a former business partner. By 2022, Alaskan bush people quietly disappeared from television. There was no official cancellation announcement, no farewell episode, just silence. Today, Matt Brown lives a life far removed from television and family drama. He resides off-grid, in Washington, estranged from his family, battling financial instability and trying to rebuild his life. His social media presence is limited but consistent. He shares updates about his journey, his struggles, and his attempts to stay sober. Despite his controversies, many fans still hope for Matt's redemption. Some believe he deserves a second chance, while others argue his actions have consequences that can't be undone. His isolation could be his path to healing or his descent into further self-destruction. The Brown family, once a symbol of rugged independence, now stands as a reminder of how fame and reality TV can fracture even the tightest bonds. Their show, Alaskan Bush People, began as a unique glimpse into an alternative lifestyle. But by the end, it had become a case study in overproduction, personal scandals, and shattered illusions. What began as a dream to showcase a family's survival in the wild turned into a cautionary tale about the dark side of reality television. The cracks in their story, the staged survival, the legal troubles, the personal betrayals were too glaring to ignore. When Billy Brown passed away, it marked the end of an era. Without him, and without Matt, the show lost its core. The Discovery Channel, tired of the controversies and internal family conflicts, quietly distanced itself from the Browns. No dramatic cancellation, no closure, just silence. In the end, the family that once captivated millions with their authentic wilderness life became the architects of their own downfall. For Matt Brown, his journey remains uncertain. His estrangement from the family could be a blessing, giving him the space to rediscover who he is without the weight of family expectations. Or it could be a curse, isolating him further from the support system he so desperately needs. The story of the Brown family is a cautionary tale of how fame can build a legacy and shatter it just as quickly. From wilderness heroes to tabloid headlines, their rise and fall remind us that not all that glitters is gold. Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, like, share, and subscribe for more untold truths behind the fame.